we just cheers, y'all. Clink! Because I really do believe that the BB gods do exist. Good day and hello, besties. My name is Shelby Ashley, and welcome back to another episode recap from Big Brother 28. This is episode 19. This is the week 5 live eviction. And I gotta say, I came into this episode with one thought and one thought only. Chuck has got to go. This girl has got to get out of my villa, for real. So I just, no matter what happened, I wanted Chuck out of here. So we are going to go through our series of events to where we ultimately got what we wanted. So, first of all, we get the announcer doing the previously on Big Brother. Oh, and of course, before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below as you watch because, as always, I have nobody in my real life to talk about this stuff with. I'd love to chat about it in the comments. So, like I said, previously on Big Brother, he loves calling Haley Thog. These producers hate this woman. They hate her because they also use, like, their little clip that they use at the end of the whole, like, previously on Big Brother. It's Haley, Angela going like, "That's a bitch move, Haley." Like, they hate this woman. They use any chance they can to just dog on her. So we come back from Kamu not using the veto on either Chuck, Haley, or Barrett. And then, but before we get to all of the things in the house, Julie says, taking Haley's week from bad to worse, him doing that. Kamu explains that he didn't use the veto because he wanted to create space between him, Chuck, and Haley, and the whole house kind of associated them all together, and he really wanted to show the house that he wasn't just with them like that. Chuck is pissed. He says everyone in this house must pay for their sins. And Haley's also pissed. She says she's going to channel this frustration into the blockbuster. And that you do, baby girl, that you do. Barrett says he feels good because Chuck and Haley are big targets, so he thinks no matter what, he's okay on the block. We get a clip of Drew, Melody, and Taylor talking about how they're having a pretty good week, and then they talk about who they all want to go, and everybody kind of understands that Haley is the target this week. Everybody wants Haley to go, and then we get a Taylor DR, and I don't quote DRs much, but this one in particular, and I quote, "Haley is literally sucking the life out of everyone and everything in this house. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and Hades, I mean Haley, has to go this week." Taylor is pure cinema in that DR. Her and Melody, I don't know who trained them. Maybe they had the same handler. I have no freaking clue, but those are two real bitches right there. Devins is kind of talking to Yosh, and Devins is kind of thinking about the idea, well, you know, maybe keeping Haley's not so bad for his game. Mallory and Barrett are also kind of talking about this. Mallory wants Chuck out over Haley. She thinks Chuck would go after her, but Haley has way bigger fish to fry. Taylor is trying to give Chuck pointers about campaigning. She's trying to give him some advice, and he is not receiving anything that she is giving. She says that this is BB for dummies at this point. And I wrote that she's playing for 3 now if Chuck stays. Because she's already playing for 2 with Lala. So she's going to be playing for 3 if she's trying to maintain her, Chuck, and Lala all at the same time. Like, good luck, babe. Good luck. She says, she literally is saying to his face, "What can you do to make you bump up the list of, like, people wanting to keep you?" And then he just has, like, nothing going on. Like, lights off, no one's home, nothing going on up there. Taylor says his brain must be squeezed by the hat he wears all the time and nothing can really go in it. Devins is talking to Barrett and Drew about the idea of voting Chuck out over Haley, and they're all kind of on the same page to get rid of Chuck, because Haley's a way bigger target and has way more enemies than Chuck does. And then, I can't believe they showed it, but they showed Angela trying to Benihana her hibachi-ass way in that kitchen and almost beating the shit out of Lala with a knife. And the sound that actually, like, they put in a little, like, sound effect in there, but the sound it actually made was like it was already dramatic. So you really didn't even have to add a sound effect to that. That was a crazy, they don't have any sharp knives in the house, but now they probably won't even be able to have butter knives in the house. Actually, now they'll probably get those, like, the round ones, you get with, like, a charcuterie board. That's the kind of charcuterie board. Angela? But, Lala, so then we get this grouping that's all in the HOH room. It's Lala, Yash, Melody, Drew, Mallory, and Barrett. Lala asks Yash, like, hey, lock that door for a second, please. Actually, I don't know if she says please. But then, like, literally as soon as he locks the door, she says, 2 icons need to go before jury. And she says that Chuck is a target next week, and because she wants Haley out this week, and then the 2 icons need to go. So she's asking, like, people who they think should they go after. She says that Devins is here for fun, Angela is here for retribution, and the other one, she's won over $500,000. And it's not until then that Lala learns that when you win Survivor, it's $1 million, and she just is like, oh. She, like, literally doubles her ambition to get Dee out. Then Lala says that none of this better get out of this room. But Barrett and Drew aren't really great people to say that to. Barrett says Bear Rat has come out and he has to tell the icons about this situation. Then we get to see Barrett doing just that. He's talking to Dee. He's telling her everything that happened. Devins comes in. He fills Devins in. And Devins clocks that Lala was talking about targeting Devins. And then Barrett also covers for Drew because Drew was the one that actually said that Devins is the most dangerous out of the 3, but Barrett is saying that Lala said that. And Devins does not like that Lala said that. And they also let Angela in on the conversation as well. So going into this blockbuster, it's, it's kind of looking like, if it's Haley versus Barrett, it looks like Barrett's safe no matter what. If it's Haley versus Barrett, obviously Haley goes. But any other situation, I think Chuck would have gone. Like, even if it was Haley versus Chuck. So we get to the blockbuster. The blockbuster is a competition where they have to roll their apples because it's like a Newton themed competition. They have to roll 5 apples across this incline and get them to land in the center of the top of the ramp. And then they have to go to the other side and then knock these apples back down. And then you hit your buzzer at the end of it. And obviously the first person to do that wins. So when we begin the competition, Barrett's in the lead for a minute. Haley is struggling because she keeps, like, knocking apples off with the other one that she's throwing. Like, that one will stay, but the one that was there before will fall over. But then eventually Haley gets back up. She ties with Barrett. And at this point, Chuck finally gets one. Chuck did not do well in this competition at all. Haley gets her 5, and so she's the first one to go to knock them down. And she kind of gets a lot of them pretty quick, but she's struggling on the last few. And during this, I guess Barrett got all 5 of his because we can't freaking see what Barrett's doing because they refuse to just give us the 3 top down. I mean, I think we'll all understand what's going on from that. But no, they don't like doing that. And so there's, like, a lot of focusing on Haley, a lot of, like, Barrett trying to quickly get stuff knocked down, but eventually Haley does win this blockbuster. And when she wins this blockbuster, you hear someone hooting and hollering like absolute mad person. And I guess it was Chuck. I mean, who else? Unless someone in the audience was being absolutely insano. Haley is revealed as the winner to the house guests, and they all clap super mildly. Melody's not happy. She's putting on her best, like, fake smile, and you can tell Lala is pissed. But then she goes from, like, and she starts smiling. Like, man, this does not go well for Lala. In the speeches, Barrett says, it's been the best 5 weeks of best 5 weeks of his life. Everybody there makes him feel confident and special. He shouts out a couple people, including Mallory from BB28. And I gotta say, that, like, threw me off. I was like, wait, another Mallory? another Mallory from, did he say 28, 27? There was a Mallory last year. I was bugging, and then I realized he was talking about freaking Mallory. Julie says, that was interesting flirting. Calls him out on that. And then Barrett's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I don't know if I've ever seen Julie, like, she's really loosey-goosey with the house guests, kind of. Unless you call her, honeymoon vest. Isn't that what Drew said? What's poppin', honeymoon vest? Oh my goodness, that will never die. Chuck, you can tell he's kind of like choking up in his speech. His voice is kind of cracking. He says he's been transparent about where he wants to go with his game. So if you want to keep him, keep him. I think he shouts out his parents. During the vote, if Haley votes to evict Barrett, Julie says that Melanie won't get a chance to ruin Haley's week. So will she ruin Chuck's? I'm telling you, she is some new writer on the Big Brother staff is kind of killing it. Melody votes to evict Chuck, and then she like shouts out her situationship back home, and she says like, today is 6 months. 6 months what? I'm sorry, I'm a melodruther, and I will not stand for this, but also love a messy queen, so you go, Melody, I still stand. Angela also votes to evict Chuck, but she says that she misses her Chuck madly. Kamu votes to evict Chuck. Dee does as well. I forget what she calls Julie, but it was something silly. And then she says that she hopes America's having fun watching and shouts out Devin's and Angela's families. Yash and Devin's both vote to evict Chuck, and Devin says that there's a big case of HOH-itis going on right now. Drew, Julie says, what's poppin', Drew? And Drew says, what's poppin', Mrs. Moonves? And she compliments his tank top, and he says it's a magical night with his little unicorn tank top. And he votes to evict Chuck. Taylor also votes to evict Chuck, and so does Mallory, and she thanks America for voting her in the time capsule. From a vote of 9-1, then Chuck is evicted from the Big Brother house. And when Chuck is evicted, he leaves. He does not, he like ices out Lala, and Haley's crying, and everybody starts comforting her once he leaves the house. With Julie, Chuck is shocked because he was just in a major alliance that was actually steamrolling the competition, and it only took one HOH, 1 week of a different HOH for all of that to go upside down. Julie asked him why he snubbed Lala, and he said that before the Blockbuster, he went in for a handshake with Lala, and she didn't give him one, so he was just returning the favor whenever he left the house. He says he's not going to change his mind about Lala playing the game confused. He also says that he wanted to lay low in the beginning, let a lot of the loud guys be his shields, and then start playing his own game. He says that if he was in the house, if he was in the house as HOH this week, La 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 would be on the block, probably with Taylor as well. We get some goodbye messages, and honestly, this whole interaction is pretty bland, especially compared to the last few evictions we've had that have been pretty lively little interviews with Julie. But Lala says that, you weren't the target, but she's not sad he's gone. Kamu says he's sorry if he's watching this. Taylor says that she tried to give him advice, but he was not listening. Haley says that he has been her rock and her best friend, and he helped her get through a lot in the house. He says that Haley's hits his heart the most. She's his best friend. He didn't want to split up from her. He would have rather been with her in the game, and he will miss her the most. I noticed that at the end of it, Julie did not invite Chuck to say love one another together. She did that with Rome, with Jason, with Lyric. Who was the first one? Ashley. Maybe Ashley did it too. She did not even invite Chuck to say it. But so I don't know if he's gonna go on God 101 anytime soon. Whenever we're eavesdropping on the house guests at the very end, dude, Lala looks so freaking pissed off. She's just sitting by herself in that hot tub time machine, and she's just staring and just pissed, and she's kind of like talking to herself, but you can't hear anything she's saying. She is not a happy camper. And that was week 5, baby. Big Brother. Yo, when it's good, it's good. I'm having a great time this season so far. So for some predictions coming up, I think that, unfortunately, I think Kamu has a really great chance of getting the time capsule, just depending on, like, if casuals, like, really step up. I would love for Melody or Drew to get it. Maybe Barrett, but I really don't see Barrett getting it. Barrett was getting super bashed on Twitter. It was kind of crazy. I was perusing on there just to, fuck off in between commercials, and damn, people do not like. I don't mind Barrett, really. He doesn't give a whole lot, but in a season where everybody's giving so much, it's kind of nice for someone just to be, like, calm. So I don't know. But as far as HOH goes, I need Melody or Mallory to get this. Honestly, I'd kind of love Melody to get it, because I think if Mallory, as much as I think Mallory would do something more interesting, I wonder if she would go Icon. I think Kamu would be on there as well. Maybe like Kamu Icon vibes, like Kamu D Devins. But if Mallory wins HOH, then people are going to think of her as even more of a competition threat and even more of a target. So I would kind of love, like, Melody to win HOH. That way it's not so, like, Mallory driven, but Mallory will have influence. I don't trust Drew as HOH. I've actually developed this huge fear of, and I'm afraid I'm almost manifesting it. It'd almost be a little poetic, but I think that whenever Devin said that he wants to use his diamond power veto, even if he doesn't need to use it, like on that last week where he can use it. So I think if everything's going okay for him, I think what's going to happen is going to be Drew HOH. Devins is just going to use it, and he's going to put Melody on the block. And then Melody is going to go out on Drew's HOH. That is what I think is going to happen. Now, I really hope I'm wrong. That would be a really crazy way, but what a, like, story, But I have developed this fear that is what is going to end up happening with this whole Diamond Power Veto saga, because Devins is so set on getting Drew out of here at some point. He does not like Drew. Like, he is, like, Drew's biggest op almost, and yeah. But I don't trust Drew to be HOH. I just don't think that he will do... Like, someone needs to go after these icons. Y'all are crazy. But Drew is so loyal to them. It's wild. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, we will know later tonight after we get a HOH competition. Let's see. We just did a super physical one. The backyard's been closed for days, though. So, I don't really know what they're going to be doing. But we will find out over the weekend, and on Sunday we're going to see on the episode the HOH competition and the nominations. So I will be back Sunday to wait, is BB Unlocked tomorrow? I don't think so, because I think BB Unlocked was last week. I sure hope not, because that's a lot of recording in a week. But anyways, stick around for Sunday for that. And you know what else? The Traitors cast was released, the, like, first civilian U.S. traitors. I've kind of been thinking about doing, like, a cast reveal for that, maybe, and maybe some coverage. How often does that come on? Let me do a little research, and we'll come back on that. Either way, you can follow me everywhere on my socials. That's at Shelby Ashley, where that first E is a 3. And like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, yada, yada, yada. It's all appreciated by me, and it helps me out. And yeah, later.